Greetings everybody, welcome back to the landscape. I had a request from a subscriber to do a video on how I use Canon EF lenses with my Sigma fpL, which is an L mount camera system. Now, one of the reasons why I went with the Sigma fpL was because there was the option to use Canon EF lenses, obviously through an adapter. The Sigma L mount range, at the time that I bought the camera, I wouldn't say it was restricted, but there were, for me anyway, there were gaps, either in terms of budget or in terms of the focal ranges that I was interested in. So the fact that I could go out and I could get Canon EF lenses, and anybody who knows will know that Canon have been making EF lenses for an awfully long time, and there's plenty of very good second-hand examples still out there. So, you know, I could build a lens collection which I could use with this camera without parting with a huge amount of gold, get me up and running, and then gradually save up for the L mount options as and when they became available. And now, 3 years later, the range of lenses that are available in L mount from Sigma is, you know, for me anyway, significantly better in terms of options. Maybe not so much affordability, but then, you know, that's where you know, I save up, and I save up long and hard to be able to afford the lenses that I want. But in the meantime, I am still using some Canon EF lenses. This is one of them. This is a Canon EF 17 to 40 millimeter lens. This is my wide angle lens, which I am using through a Sigma MC21 Canon EF to L adapter, which I'm hoping the text will appear on the camera. So this is manufactured by Sigma, especially for this purpose. There are two MC21 adapters. There's one Canon EF to L, which is this one. There's also a Sigma SA to L adapter as well. They look very similar, but clearly they're not compatible with each other because the initial mount is different on the SA one than the Canon EF one. So if you are looking to purchase, then please you know, do make sure that you are getting the EF to L adapter as opposed to the SA to L adapter. Using it is pretty straightforward. This is the original EF lens. You just line up the red dots. There's a red dot on the inside of there and a red dot on the camera. Snap it round till it clicks, and then obviously on the back of the adapter is the usual L mount collar with a white dot. You line it up with the camera and you click it in, and away you go. In terms of functionality, certainly this lens, I can use the autofocus on this lens quite happily. The only time that autofocus has caught me out when using an EF lens was with a 70 to 200 f4. I found that lens, so that was a Canon 70 to 200 f4. When using it through the adapter, I found that the autofocus hunted. Now, most of the time in the landscape, I'm manually focusing, so it's not a problem. But I was chasing storm waves, and the lens just wouldn't lock onto anything. Whether that was a failing with the lens through the adapter, or a mixture of that, plus I know that the autofocus on the Sigma fpL isn't the best out there. Maybe it was a combination of both things, but anyway, I struggled. So much so that I have actually changed my 70 to 200 option in order to not be in that position again. The other challenge that I've had is I actually got a Tamron zoom lens in EF fit. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the long zooms, and it was optically stabilized. When I use the lens with manual focus, absolutely fine, no problem at all through one of these adapters and on my fpL. But if I switch the autofocus on, again, it wasn't wonderful. If I switch the stabilization on, the lens just locked up, completely locked up. Autofocus didn't work. I think the aperture closed down and it made a very, very funny noise. Very clearly the lens was not happy when being used through an adapter. And it wasn't the lens, because one of my photo buddies has got a 5D Mark IV. I put that lens, the Tamron lens on that camera, and it worked perfectly. So it wasn't the lens was fine. It was something to do with using it through one of these adapters. So generally, in my experience, a Canon, as opposed to Tamron or any other third-party EF lens, through this adapter works absolutely fine. The other sorts of lenses that I've used have been Sigma EF lenses. So I've tried a Sigma, I think it's a 24-105 art lens, and that worked perfectly through this adapter as well. So I think the thing to do is to use it with caution, and also make sure that you know, especially if you're buying second hand, you have the option to send it back. Or if you are buying new, see if they have the option to actually try it in a shop or at a show or whatever. Actually make sure that your purchase is okay. But generally, in my experience, a genuine Canon EF lens through this adapter, absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. I'd be more than happy and more than confident, notwithstanding the autofocus hunting issue. What I am gradually trying to do is move to native L-mount lenses. That's because I want to not be in the position of having an autofocus issue again, but also I do actually want to use lenses that are designed to be used with this camera mount system. I mean, in terms of optical quality, I mean, I've used the Sigma 16-28 alongside this. I'll be honest with you, I can't really tell the difference in terms of quality. If there is any difference between them, it's absolutely tiny, it's so marginal. But I still like that. I guess there's that confidence that if you're using a lens that's been designed to be used with that camera mount, then yeah, I just get a certain amount of confidence out of doing it. That said, I do appreciate that going down this route is a lot cheaper, and there are a lot more options out there as well. And as I said right at the beginning of the video, that was one of the reasons for going for this camera, because I actually had this option. By the way, these mounts, I was going to say how much they are. Here in the UK, they're about £100, I think. I got one brand new because I wanted it, but in the other one I actually shopped around, and I think I managed to pick it up for £60. And of course, there's no moving parts on it. As long as the pass-through electrical contacts are good, then you know you're absolutely fine. So if you're in the market for one of them, it's definitely worth shopping around, because there are very good used examples out there. So for the subscriber that asked me that question, I hope that that's answered the question. If you're considering an L-mount camera, then do sort of take into consideration what I've just said. Using one of these things definitely enables you to get some lenses significantly cheaper, and definitely worth having a play with. And yeah, that's it really. I hope it's been useful. If you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Generally, this channel is about landscape photography, but I do try and answer subscriber questions as best and as fully as I can based on my own experience, hence this video. But if you like landscape photography, be it digital or film, and you're not a subscriber, consider becoming a subscriber. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. Right, I am going to go and do something else. I think it's raining over there actually, which is a bit, rain was forecast, but anyway, never mind. I'm gonna go and find something else to do. Everybody take care, stay well, and until we're back out in the landscape again, stay safe. See you soon. Bye for now.